What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another review here at Big Gold Bell Media. I'm Cam, and today we're going to talk about Nat Geo's The Real Red Tails, premiering June 3rd, 8, 7 Central, and then streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. Wow. That is my first reaction that I have to say about this documentary. It absolutely is astonishing and captivating. A lot of people are going to be really, really taken back after watching it and learning about new pieces of history that we didn't know actually took place on U.S. soil. I will say that. Just to let you know in the beginning, this is a non-spoiler review, but I'm just going to give my little quick brief opinion as well as some of the fun points and some points that I might not like about this documentary. So sit tight, everybody. First off, it's narrated. This whole entire documentary is narrated by the amazing and talented Sheryl Lee Ralph, who I know is one of the original Dream Girls, but she currently is known and famous for her award-winning performance on Abbott Elementary, which is doing in crazy numbers right now. But this story is told by her, and just to give you a little synopsis about what the actual documentary is about. I mean, Red Tails in the name kind of gives it away. I mean, Tuskegee Airmen, 1941, being the first segregated group of pilots that is added into the U.S. government, which I think is incredible on its own feet. But here's a little synopsis about what this documentary is actually pinpointing and about. So Sheryl Lee Ralph tells a story of an astonishing discovery of a World War II era P-39 airplane in Lake Huron, Michigan. Reigniting the story lost of time. Tuskegee pilot Frank Moody perished in the crash, but the significance of what he and his fellow airmen accomplished survives to this day. So the show actually lasts about 1 hour completely, and it really dives in deep into not only the missions, but the upbringing of a lot of these individuals, not characters, but actual people that lived during this era almost 70 to 80 years ago. And it really kind of just really pinpoints onto the discovery of not only the plane of Frank Moody before his fatal crash, but the things that led up to it, right? With all the training, all of the regiments, all of the things they had to endure trying to become Tuskegee Airmen, or just trying to become airmen in the United States government first and foremost. I would say that let's think about some of the great things that this thing really highlights, this whole entire documentary. It really highlights the sophistication and the drive and determination that a lot of the Tuskegee Airmen had to put forth to become respected in the United States government, when respect was not an easy commodity to come by, which I thought was amazing that they did. And I think all these Nat Geo series that talk about this type of thing in significance really highlight it very, very well. As we know, I mean, in 1941, President Roosevelt decided to create a all African American, or at the time they were called Negro Squadron. And he did this not just to grab and to solidify equal rights, but to gravitate and grab the African American vote, right? You put something in place powerful like that, you're going to get voters, of course, right? And he did, in doing so, to gain more votes from the African American voters, which makes sense. And through this whole entire time, I mean, African Americans were very chomping at the bit to fight and represent their country in a way that they have never seen before. So him putting together this squadron that became a part of the state's, or the Department of Warfare, and adding them into the U.S. Army back in January 1941, was something of great significance, not only to African Americans, but to the whole entire country. This gave people I guess you could say, a fighting chance. I mean, they're fighter pilots, but it's given them a chance to represent themselves. We don't have to be on the front lines. We don't have to be the first ones in, last ones out at this point. This gives us a chance to fly like we've never flown before, or ever given the opportunity to fly, and also save the country that we're born to and learn to love as well. But yeah, this really does pinpoint on Frank Moody's crash during that time. I mean, he was at the age of about 22 years old, I believe, when this crash actually happened, and he fatally was killed in the plane crash. There's so many things that I didn't know that actually went on. So before they would actually go up to, I guess, Lake Huron in Michigan, there was a very rigorous training that they had to do in Tuskegee before getting there. And after you climb the ranks, you're already at the peak condition. You are honestly the best in your class before you go to Michigan to be able to train there over the lake. And I guess you could say by bad luck, I mean, Frank just happened to be the one to perish. I mean, he's operating a P-39 aircraft during this time, which is one of the most sophisticated aircrafts of its day, or war aircrafts during its day, during this time in 1940s. So for him to be able to, capability of operating it is such a high mental standard for anyone at this time. And a very unfortunate circumstance that happened to him. And like I said, this is a non-spoiler at all. This is kind of just right in there in the trailer, and a lot of people get to figure this out before getting into the series. Another amazing thing that I got to see in here, there's so many different lieutenant colonels as well as doctors that were highlighted that are part of not only the Tuskegee Airmen National Museum, but also that are still alive to this day, that actually represented our country as real Tuskegee Airmen and part of those red tails. A lot of them are at the point where they're almost like 100. I think one of the individuals, I think James Harvey III, he actually just turned 100 a couple days ago, which I thought was absolutely incredible. Shout out to him. Congratulations on this feat. You were done so much with your life. It's so crazy. And I just keep thinking back, like being 22 years old, where was I at? I don't think I was at the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to fly planes. I'm going to do so much for my country, and I'll be the first to do it. That's mind blowing to me, to have not only the drive to persevere through so much adversity and so much, rigor, to be able to get to this point. I think it's absolutely amazing. There were really, honestly, and just to point this out, there really wasn't much in this that I didn't like. I would have loved to see more where they talked about more of the battle scenes, or a lot of more of their in-action experiences with a lot of the characters, or I'm sorry, not characters, but the individuals that are highlighted in this show. The narrating, honestly, I would say is a huge highlight as well. Sheryl Lee Ralph's voice is just so calming. She makes any situation seem dire, to be honest with you, whether we're diving in the water looking for a plane, or if we're talking about a plane crash, it all seems very, very significant, as well as the music and orchestra that was done in this show very adequately, I think, highlighted all the serious as well as the lighter tones that were in this show, which I thought was incredible. Listen, I'm actually taken back by this whole entire show, because it definitely taught me a lot about not only some highlighted points into the lives and the upbringing of a lot of these characters that a lot of people are going to be surprised about. Because everyone has a different story in here. For it to be so close to home, and for, an archaeological World War II site to be in the United States, that's kind of crazy to me, because I thought, in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, Germany, France, England, they've got all these like, crash sites or tanks, or, all these artifacts of World War II, or these remnants. In here, we don't have much. Of course, we have like, a couple different locations, monuments and stuff like that. But now we know that our area was used just as much as any other. Well, not just as much as any other. I will take that back. But it was used quite a bit to be able to train our pilots to be able to be up to speed, to be able to compete, and also help deliver adequate training to be able to fight and win the war in World War II. But like I said, guys, this is such an amazing series. I'm not going to give away everything and spoil this whole thing for you. I think this is definitely worth the hour of your time to check it out. And honestly, I would definitely go back and watch it again if I can, honestly. But yeah, you please, guys at home, make sure you go check out Nat Geo's The Real Red Tails, premiering June 3rd at 8, 7 Central, and then streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. If you guys like more content and want to see more content just like this, make sure you check us out at biggoldbeltmedia.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll be the first ones to know about new content that we dropped on a week-to-week basis. Until next time, peace.